Oh, hey guys. I'm just out here practicing my sex kicks. You see, I have a girl coming over tonight, and I think it would be kind of embarrassing if she found out that my shuffles were just not optimal. If you learn and practice this melee tech, you will be winning all the major tournaments and banging all the hotties at your local. You will be the guy that all the other guys hate. So what is a sex kick? It's just a nair, but it's not just any nair. It's a nair that looks like this. Let me explain. Since Smash 64, the Smash developers have given characters this very kick as their nair. It's fair to say that this kick animation is the go-to animation if developers don't really know what else to give the character as a nair. But why is it called a sex kick? Well, fellas, you know how you're engaging in relations with your intimate and definitely real partner, and your member gets all strong and mighty, but as time goes on, for the second round, it gets weak and shy? I can't believe I'm, talking about sex in front of the melee crowd. Well, the concept is the same with this nair. When it comes out first, it's a decently strong hit that does a good chunk of percent, but the longer it stays out, it gets weaker, and it does less damage and knockback. The term was coined by Matt Deasy, the goated TO of the Tournament Go series of tournaments in California during the earliest days of competitive Melee. Despite the Melee community latching onto this term in the early days and it being quite the funny one, you never really hear this term be used anymore. Well, first of all, having the term sex kick thrown around every 10 seconds in commentary is sure to rustle the jimmies of anybody that is sponsoring any sort of Smash event. And also, it would kind of get annoying the 5th time you hear the term. The term kind of died before Melee events even got big enough to have sponsors such as the one shown on screen, but since there are so many nairs in the game that come out with this initial hard hitbox then over time get weaker, and not all of those nairs are kicks, it feels kind of weird to give this distinct kind of nair such a name. Also, nair is one syllable. But yeah, nothing else is too special about this term other than, haha, sex. But you're gonna come into this journey with me, and we are going to make a sex kick tier list. Here we go. We're gonna start from the weakest one, and we're gonna move on to the strongest one. Starting off with the weakest sex kick in the game, in my opinion, we're gonna start with Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff's sex kick is pretty pathetic, if I'm being very honest with you. Very bad range compared to her neutral dominating move back air, and below average knockback, and it coming out on frame 6 when all the other sex kicks come out on either frame 3 or 4 makes this evidently the worst sex kick when looking in a vacuum. However, when looking at how Puff can use it, there are a couple of redeeming qualities. Puff mostly uses nair as a hitbox to land with. This is because it's a long-lasting hitbox that allows her to not be very specific with choosing a landing option. But the main reason it's useful in this scenario is that landing a nair can allow you to combo into a grab or even a rest. The fact that soft nair to rest is a combo on the entire cast is kinda nuts, but real talk, what else do Puff players use nair for? I'm pretty experienced with almost the whole cast, and Jigglypuff is not really a part of that almost whole cast category, so I might be missing out on something due to my particular lack in Puff knowledge. But Nair Rest, in my opinion, is a little bit niche, and you're not going to be hitting it a lot, and all of Puff's other aerials can combo into Rest way more consistently, so this sex kick is going to go in C tier. Next up, we got the average sex kicks. Alright, so let's talk about Mario's Nair. Mario's Nair isn't a terrible move, it just feels really bad because Mario himself just has no range in any sort of thing, he's just not really a good character. Mario's biggest weakness in the game is the fact that he just can't consistently find kills out of combos because his aerials are kind of weak. Mario relies on getting a smash attack to get a kill, and if Mario finds himself in a situation where he only has one more hit left to finish a combo, 3/5 of the time you're basically forced to end it with a nair if you're not doing a smash attack. Ending your Mario combo with nair feels like such a defeat because you could have an absolutely sick combo on your hands and just have it forced to be end with a weak move. I mean, characters like Captain Falcon get heavily rewarded for combos by having strong finishers like knee. Other than that, it's a halfway decent move. Since it's a sex kick, it's a useful option for Mario to move, and it just sticks out and allows him to move forward and close distance with an opponent. It's just a shame that Mario has basically no range, and that you're pretty much forced to eventually use this in neutral in some situations. This is gonna go in the average tier. So next up we have Young Link. Young Link needs to wait 7 years to... I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna lie, Young Link is kinda under the same boat as Mario because his sex kick is very, very average. It's just mediocre because of his range. It's mainly used as a follow-up to get the opponent off stage after hitting them with a bomb or a boomerang, or just as a way to end a combo. At least this knockback is quite good for a sex kick, and it's a faster out of shield option than Adult Link, because Adult Link has 2 more frames of jump squat, meaning that this Nair gives Young Link a strictly better out of shield option than Adult Link, and that he has an easier time of using it as an aggro move. But basically everyone has a better out of shield option and can play more aggro than Link, so I wouldn't really count this as something that matters very much. Now we got Samus. Now, Samus's neutral layer is extremely solid. It hits hard, it's a massive hitbox, and honestly, out of all the sex kicks, Samus's has the most simple function. It's mostly used as an aerial combo finisher or as an edgeguard tool. That's pretty much it for Samus. She can do some other goofy stuff like that Nair platform cancel that you could do with Luigi, but she just doesn't do it as good, and it doesn't lead to as much as Luigi can get. We'll discuss Luigi later. Samus can also use Nairs above a shielding opponent to catch their jump after applying some sort of grounded pressure over the game. Yeah, Samus's Nair is very simple and effective at fulfilling its purpose as a fast and strong aerial that's good at knocking the opponent off stage. And it's also really good at covering ledge with its giant hitbox. The fact that it's not really excellent at doing anything else though will land it in the average tier. The large hitbox is the only thing that makes Samus's Nair stand out from other sex kicks. But honestly, Samus's floatiness makes this move kind of a commitment in neutral, and you don't really get to see that move be used creatively in aggro ways, such as other moves that we are going to look at. Moving on to the next tier. Starting off the freak in the sheets tier, we got Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario's sex kick is very different from the rest of the cast. Let's just say that Doc goes extra hard in round 2. Doc's Nair gets stronger over time, which is really cool since, correct me if I'm wrong, there is no other Nair in all of the Smash games that have been programmed to work like Doc's. The main con is that Dr. Mario's Nair suffers from the same range issues as Mario's Nair, but it's better in the knockback department. The initial weak hit does slightly less knockback than Mario's Nair to the point where it's barely even noticeable. But the strong late hit has way more knockback, actually making this a decent kill option that Doc can just throw out in neutral or in edgeguard situations. Doc's back air is obviously the better move in most of these situations, but the Nair serves its niche, being used as a combo tool, a get off me tool, and a long lasting kill option. That is why he gets in the freak in the sheets tier. The case of Falco's Nair is a little bit of a tragedy in my opinion. Falco's Nair isn't bad, far from it. It can mostly be used in the same ways that Fox can use his Nair. Falco's Nair is mostly used as an approach option, it can be used for DI mix-ups, it can be used as an edge guarding tool, and it can be used as a way to get the opponent off stage. Very standard uses of a sex kick. However, Falco struggles to utilize his Nair to anywhere near the same caliber as Fox. This is mainly because Falco is actually kind of slow as hell. Slower run speed, and he takes longer to become airborne after pressing the jump button with his 5 frames of jump squat, meaning that Fox is able to get his Nair started 2 frames faster than Falco can. This means that Fox is able to get a Nair out 2 whole frames before Falco can. Falco's Nair is also made weaker because of his full hop height. Part of why Fox's Nair is so good because it allows him to use his excellent full hop to its max potential. Fox's full hop does not put him over the top platform of every stage, like Falco's full hop puts him over the top platform of every stage. This means Fox has a whole aerial option with his nair that Falco has no access to. Falco's nair is not all negatives though. Take for example the Ginger Nair. The Ginger Nair is when a Falco player hits a soft nair on the ledge to capture an opponent's recovery instead of using a down air. This is done because although down air is a great option and has the potential to get the kill faster in this situation, it can still be teched up against the wall with good smash DI and timing. The Ginger Nair completely eliminates this wall tech option, giving Falco an opportunity to follow up with a more safe edgeguard. Falco's Sex Kick will go in the freak in the sheets tier. It's a very solid attack that leads into basically whatever Falco wants to do. But it's nowhere near as spammable as Fox's Nair due to Falco's limitations of being a slow character with a higher jump. Next up is Luigi. Luigi's Nair is the best out of all of the Mario Brothers, and the reason for that is simple. Luigi's Nair sends the opponent straight up. Luigi's Nair can be used as a setup move that can lead into many strong aerials and powerful down smash tech chases. It's a quick move that Luigi can pull out in the middle of any combo as a DI mix-up into a free hard hit if it lands and the opponent doesn't have the best DI. Nair can be used to help Luigi land since it's a long-lasting hitbox that can easily cause big reversals to occur in Luigi's favor. Luigi is notoriously kinda hard to true combo because of how awkwardly floaty he is and how fast his Nair can come out and how bad it could potentially body you. Luigi is also the character that has the easiest time in the game doing immediate platform interrupt nairs, which allows him to easily start up crazy shield pressure when on a platform. Overall, this move is pretty goated. Its main weakness is the fact that it's so good that Luigi players spam it to hell, and the opponent could just run away, wait out the nair, and just punish. You just have to learn how to use it in the right situations, and this could easily be an S tier nair. So remember how I said Mario's nair is bad mainly because Mario's tools as a character don't mix too well with how he can use his nair? This is the exact opposite for Yoshi. Yoshi's nair overall is only a decent sex kick, but all of Yoshi's other tools make this nair quite fantastic. Yoshi's unique way of controlling himself with his double jump allows you to be very specific with how you place and time your nairs. Double jump canceling your nairs also allows you to start simple shield pressure immediately upon contact, and can help lead to big damage. Like every other sex kick, it's great at being used as a DI mix-up to lead into a strong smash attack or other hits. But Yoshi's nair is also quite strong on its own, and it's one of the most popular kill moves on this character. Double jumping also gives Yoshi super armor, allowing him to take damage from an opponent before bursting back with an aerial of his own. When your opponent is at high percent, you can counter their attack by activating your super armor by double jumping and then aerialing out of hit stun. Yoshi's nair is excellent, but compared to the rest of his kit, it's just a decent move. This one is gonna stay in the freak in the sheets tier, and honestly it would have been S tier if it's not for its pretty mediocre range and the fact that it's not the best nair when it comes to being used as a combo tool. To round off the freak in the sheets tier list, we're gonna put Sheik. Sheik's nair shares a good amount of traits with Samus's nair. However, there are two key differences. One is that Samus's nair is quite a bit stronger than Sheik's. The other fact is that Sheik falls faster and moves faster than Samus, allowing her to use her nair as a combo mix-up a lot more reliably than Samus. Since Sheik also falls much faster than Samus, it is a much better out of shield option. Honestly, not much else to say about this move. It is a great move, but not necessarily her best edgeguard tool, mostly being overshadowed by back air in that department. Now we're on to the last tier, the big boys of sex kicks, the professional sex havers. Starting off the sex haver tier, we have Fox. What else can I say about Fox's nair? Nair is a strong neutral option from Fox that can net big damage, it can combo, it can be used as a combo finisher, edgeguard, set up to kill. Honestly, for a sex kick, Fox has it all. Fox's nair is buffed by the fact that it's on Fox, basically the fastest character in the game. In combination with being a fast faller with a 2-frame jump squat, Fox can easily overwhelm his opponent with a flurry of specially timed aerials in order to get a combo going. Another thing that's not talked about enough is how good Nair is at allowing you to convert into Shine. Like if you hit a Nair and Shine Fox at the edge, they're fucking dead. Yes, this is another mediocre Nair when it comes to, range and stuff, but it's absolutely skyrocketed in value due to the character that the move is on. Fox being Fox easily shoots this move into Sex Haver tier. And now, for the best sex kick in the game, we have Link. You know how Link holds the Triforce of Courage? That's actually a lie. What they don't want you to know is that he holds the Triforce of Libido. Hell, Link lasts longer than me when I'm off 2 of those gas station pills. Seriously though, look at this shit. Look at how long this hitbox lasts. The developers literally forgot to program Link's Nair hitbox to go away as he's putting his legs back in. The hitbox literally ends right when Link is actionable again, allowing him to throw out another Nair hitbox 4 frames immediately after the last one just went away. This forever hitbox can also lead into some of the most unbelievable looking edgeguards and pressure sequences that you've ever seen. Link's sex kick hitbox is decently large, and it's pretty standard in the knockback department. Outside of its neutral use, edgeguards, and pressure that Link can start with it, it's mostly used as either a combo breaker, get off me tool, or as a way to follow up with bomb or boomerang if for some reason fair, up air, or dare are not the correct choices. I'ma be straight up with you. This move is quite broken, just like Fox's Nair, but it's just on the wrong character. Although Link makes great use of his Nair in neutral, Link still heavily relies on his bombs and boomerang for zoning because of the fact that he's so slow. 6 frame jump squat means the fastest that he could do a Nair out of shield is frame 10, which is quite terrible, and a whole 2 frames slower than doing his up B out of shield. Link being slow as hell kind of prevents this broken move from seeing its full potential. Like, imagine if Fox had this Nair. I don't want to imagine that. Don't get it twisted though. Link being slow doesn't mean that I think this move is bad. In fact, I think it's easily the best sex kick in the whole game. Despite its potential never being realized due to it being on a slow character, this slow character can still do some crazy stuff with this move, and it's impossible to ignore the fact that it stays out literally forever. And there's the sex kick tier list for you guys. Incels, take notes. But there are some other moves in the game that function similar to the rest of these sex kicks, so I'm gonna do a little cheating. I'm gonna double this video as just like a little strong to soft Nair tier list, I guess, whatever. There are a lot of moves in the game that function similar to the rest of these sex kicks, but they don't do the classic animation of sticking the foot out. This may be your true sex kick tier list that I'm showing you right now, but now I'm going to start adding some stuff to it, and now we are going to get the pseudo sex kick tier list. This time we're going to start off with the best pseudo sex kick, and we're going to move on to the worst last. The only pseudo sex kick that's going to go in the Sex Haver tier list is going to be Peach's Nair. Peach's Nair is really good. It's a very strong move. It comes out on frame 3. Honestly, if this move was on any other character, it wouldn't be special in any sort of way, but the fact that it's on Peach, a character with a double jump cancel, and the only character with the ability to float for up to 3 seconds whenever she's in the air, it changes everything. Peach's float allows her to place her Nair wherever she wants. Canceling an aerial's animation by landing out of float is basically an L cancel on steroids, making this move have extremely little landing lag when done out of a float. So you could do this crazy shield pressure like Laud does on H-Box in this match, or be able to string a flurry of float cancel aerials together. Her float allows her to combo Nairs into each other. Hard Nairs at early percents and soft Nairs at late percents both work really well as combo extensions. This Nair actually just feels perfect for the character that it's on, and this is truly one of those all-purpose moves that you can use in neutral, punish, and edgeguarding. So yeah, Peach is definitely having some damn sex. In the Freak in the Sheets tier list, we're gonna have 2 more additions, being the Rats. We got Pikachu and Pichu, and their Nair is basically so damn similar that I am going to talk about both of them at the same time as if they are the same character. Both Pikachu and Pichu have some of the lowest jump squats in the entire game, allowing them to get a nair out fast as Fox. This nair could easily be spammed in neutral as long as you're just not being stupid with it and getting caught by somebody that's constantly wave dashing back and waiting for you to do it. But honestly, this move is incredibly spammable. It could be used for combos, it could be used in neutral, and it could be used very aggro with these two characters. It's also a very good edge guarding tool and just covers so much space around the ledge, especially since Pikachu and Pichu are just so quick to move. Honestly, there's not much else to say about it. It's pretty above average nair, that's why it's in this tier, but its functions are very similar to a nair like Fox's. It's just not as good because it's not on as good of a character, but it's pretty damn close. We are going to be skipping the average time tier and we're going to be moving straight into the one pump chump tier where we're going to have two new additions. Our first new addition we're going to talk about is Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong Nair immediately makes itself stand out from the rest of DK's aerials with its frankly horrible range. All of DK's other aerials are kind of giant and just as fast, if not faster than Nair. Also, the knockback on this move sucks. The opponent literally needs to DI in to allow you to combo with this move, and even if they DI out, the knockback is so lackluster that the opponent is probably just going to live anyways. Approaching with Nair is an absolutely terrible option for Donkey Kong, but it's decent when it's done in a corner and very smart. It's mostly used as a mix-up for DI in, as it can follow up with moves such as grab for more damage, and it can lead into a back air if the opponent is off stage. I was able to find some success by doing Nair above people by predicting their jump out of shield, but up air and back air tend to result in way more damage when you're going for this kind of read, so this is just a slow move with no range and not much knockback and not much reward. This move is very mediocre, but at least it's more usable than the other characters that we're going to talk about. Next up, we got Ness. Ness's Nair is quite the unfortunate case in my opinion. I mean, look at the range, this shit is so sad. Its knockback is not the best either, and as an edgeguard move, it gets overshadowed by his better edgeguard moves in back air, down air, F smash, PK Thunder, and sometimes even down tilt. However, it's pretty good actually for Ness's kit. It's a pretty good combo tool. It could be used as an extender, especially when utilizing double jump cancels with this character. Even though this move is quite useful at times for this character, what's useful for Ness greatly varies from what's useful for a character like Fox. Nair is useful for Ness as a combo extension, and it's pretty decent out of shield, and it can allow you to reset your situation back to neutral at mid%. Meanwhile, Fox's Nair is useful for, everything. Pretty decent Nair considering this move is on a terrible character, but still a lot worse than other characters' Nairs, and it's nowhere close to being Ness's best move, so we're just going to put him in the one pump chump tier. I got two more pseudo sex kicks to talk about, and these two pseudo sex kicks were so bad that I just had to create a brand new tier for them. Welcome to the weak ad dick tier. Let's start this off with Bowser. Sadly, Bowser's sex kick is the slowest. Sadly, Bowser's Nair is the slowest Nair that we will be discussing in this video. Technically, more on that later. It comes out on frame 8, 2 frames slower than Jigglypuff's Nair. Its hitbox also doesn't last as long as many other sex kicks, and the window for the hard hit is very tight, making it quite easy to get the soft hit, which Bowser can't even get a combo off of the soft hit because he's Bowser and he's so slow. Like, the most that you could get off of a soft Nair hitbox is, I don't know, following up with like an upward angle F tilt. I really can't think of anything else. And that's given the fact that Bowser's jump squat is 8 frames long, meaning the fastest that you could do a short hop Nair out of shield is 16 frames. It's also one of his worst moves in neutral since its range is just absolutely horrible compared to his other moves. The best that Nair could be used for is landing, I guess? It's a damn challenge to land with Bowser in the first place. Like, oh my god, what the hell am I supposed to do? It really doesn't help that this bad move is on like the worst character in the game. Even if this move was given to a faster and stronger character, it would still suck major ass and it would never see use. So, weak ad dick tier. Now, finally, we are going to talk about what I think is the worst pseudo sex kick and the worst nair, possibly one of the worst moves in the entire game. We're talking about Kirby's nair. So you remember how I said Bowser's nair is the slowest nair by technicality? This terrible move is the reason why. Kirby's nair comes out at a whopping frame 10, coming out 2 frames later than Bowser's. The reason I consider Bowser's nair slower is because of the jump squat. Bowser has the slowest jump squat in the game, taking 8 frames to become airborne, meaning the fastest that you can get a short hop nair out is 16 with Bowser. Kirby, on the other hand, joins Fox, Sheik, Samus, Pikachu, Pichu, and Ice Climbers for having the fastest jump squat in the game at 3 frames, meaning that Kirby can get his nair out earliest at frame 13. And considering how both of these moves are terrible to land with and break out of combos with, nair speed doesn't really matter in the case of both of these characters. Before I continue violating Kirby even further, I just want to point out that Kirby actually used to have a real sex kick in Smash 64. Kirby had a sex kick and this move was removed. But this melee nair is also not a new move. Smash 64 also had this move, it just wasn't his nair. It was his up air instead. Now, I'm not a Smash 64 connoisseur, but from what I can tell, Kirby's up air was also kind of his worst aerial in that game, but the immense amount of hits done on every single move in Smash 64 still made this move possible to use. You cannot do anything with this move in Melee, however. I can at least see a world where Bowser's correct decision is to do nair since it's his fastest aerial option. There is absolutely no world where you should be using nair over any other aerial that Kirby has. Kirby has another 10 frame aerial in forward air, which hits 3 times directly in front of Kirby, and it's actually pretty decent for edgeguarding and spacing in neutral. Kirby's back air comes out at frame 6, and it's pretty strong. His up air comes out at frame 11, and you know, that might sound like a lot, but up air is his most reliable kill move. His down air comes out at frame 18, which is really bad, but at least it's sick as hell to hit as an edgeguard, and it could be used as a decent landing option for Kirby every now and then. I'm gonna be real with you, I don't know why this move was even made. I don't know why they replaced the original Smash 64 sex kick with this garbage up air, but it doesn't kill, it doesn't combo, it isn't fast, and I think it's the only attack in Melee that serves absolutely zero purpose in any situation. If you're able to hit a sick Kirby clip utilizing nair, please tweet it at me at NebsJuiceMan on Twitter. And who knows, I might just give your ass $1. I'm not giving your ass $1. Hey Juiceman fam, I hope you love that message. Please remember, we're not just telling stories, we're changing lives. Alright, let me stop with that bullshit. Thank you guys so much for watching this video until the end. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, and if you rock with me all together, go ahead and subscribe. The video was inspired by Junebug's recent series on the Tilt tier list, and if you're a fan of my content, I really recommend checking out Junebug if you've never seen his content before, just so you could get more Melee knowledge. I'm assuming Junebug is going to keep on going with this series and probably cover aerials at some point, so if he does that nair video, I'm excited to see how my tier list compares to his. But anyways, gamers, if you're struggling at the end of the day to slay that poon, don't be sad. Life isn't all about living lavishly through sexual gratification. What really matters is Smash Brothers. My word of the day is to just keep on gaming, bro. Don't worry about no girls, just keep on gaming. Anyways, this has been Juiceman, and remember, this game is to have fun. You damn virgins.